Hey, what's up, guys? Meteorologist Doug Hetty. It is Thursday afternoon. Of course, it's mild, it's windy across the region, so our temperatures have shot into the 60s, but we've had winds gusting at times upwards of 40 to 45 miles per hour. All right, guys, weather 2020 video. We did the national winter forecast yesterday. Today, we're going to kind of break it down a little bit more local for the state of Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and also Missouri, of course. Check out weather2020.com, interactive map that has long range forecasts 3 months out. Also, we do services for long range forecasting for ag companies and stuff like that. So if you have any interest in that, let me know. All right, guys. First off, huge shout out. My boys, Superior Roofing and Construction, a four-state premier roofing contractor. They're family owned and operated right here in Joplin, Missouri. 7th and High Street. They did my roof last year. I trust them. I don't have any leaks. So if you have roofing needs, give them a call. All right, first off, let's look at the next 2 days. The reason it's so windy is we have a storm system that is rotating in. This is one of the very classic ones that we are going to see in this year's pattern. About 80% of the pattern are going to be storm systems like this one that rotate through over the next couple days. Kind of small to moderate storms, but every now and then we get a bigger storm. Look at this, though. 60s during this afternoon. We're already into the 60s. Tonight, we don't drop off much, but clouds increase. Some light showers start to develop southeastern Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma, into Joplin as we go through late morning into the early afternoon. Scattered showers continue mainly north of I-44, getting up near Kansas City. This is 3 p.m. tomorrow. And then also some light showers out across western parts of Kansas. As we continue through Friday evening, a few thunderstorms will try to get going west central Missouri, down along the I-44 corridor. None of these are going to be too strong, but some thunder and lightning. And then these push east tomorrow evening, so you can see a line of storms central Missouri, maybe as far south as northwestern Arkansas. But overall, the energy of this system is kind of splitting around most of the four-state area. So due to that, the energy shoots north, and then also kind of on Saturday really gets going in the southeastern parts of the U.S. All right, Saturday morning, temperatures start to drop. We have a lot of clouds Saturday. You can still see rain ongoing. Parts of Arkansas, Little Rock, all the way over to Fort Smith, up to West Plains, Cape Girardeau, the Boot Heel of Missouri as we go into Saturday. Everybody else just kind of cloudy and cold. All right, let's jump into the winter forecast. We have two main features. So remember, the pattern, the LRC, Lezak recurring cycle. Lezak and I have worked on this pattern for about 25 years. It sets up the end of September, early October, but there's still some transitioning and kind of going on starting in August and ending in November. And we have already gone through the first cycle of this pattern. But what I'm seeing so far, and what we are seeing so far, is the general feature is kind of this jet stream. Remember, it's an El Nino this year. We were in a La Nina 3 years in a row. El Nino's usually a little bit more active. Doesn't mean it absolutely will be, because remember, El Nino and La Nina influence the LRC. So this is kind of the normal feature that we're seeing. Jet stream into California. Little systems, little to moderate systems jump across the Rockies into the Central Plains and then out across the East Coast. Of course, some of these storm systems can produce showers, thunderstorms, and even some snow, but we aren't going to get a whole bunch of big systems from this part of the pattern. And I hate to say it, but about 80% of this year's pattern is going to kind of look like this. We are going to get some bigger systems, but I'm not overly thrilled with this pattern. I haven't been thrilled with the pattern for the past couple of years, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so the second main feature is we get a ridge way out across the Pacific Northwest, and then a ridge of high pressure out across New England. Subtropical jet, these systems come in through Central California into the Rockies, and then they're allowed to dive deep across the southern plains and then the southeast. I think there's a long wave trough to our east. I've noticed that a lot of storm systems like to kind of really get going in Iowa, Missouri, eastern Oklahoma, and Arkansas. That means The drought conditions, we're still going to struggle in Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma as we go into next summer. Not as bad as what we have seen, but we're still going to have that issue a little bit. But when we do get into this part of the pattern, and it only happens 4 or 5 times the entire winter, what this allows our area to do is it allows the Arctic air to slide south. And if we can get one of these waves, they'll become strong storm systems and can produce a lot of showers, a lot of thunderstorms, and winter weather. And again, I do see that happening about 4 or 5 times this winter. In fact, the next time it should happen is right before Christmas. So we'll keep our fingers crossed on this. But looking at how systems have tracked, the heaviest snow by far this winter should track from Wichita, Salina, Emporia, Topeka, Kansas City, St. Joe, to Kurtzville, Macon, up to Chicago. And then most of Kansas, kind of near normal. You can see actually a little below normal in Nebraska and parts of Iowa. And then snow potential all the way down through southern Oklahoma. And then even central parts of Arkansas, because there's a little stripe, Little Rock to Memphis that we got to watch. So let me zoom in. All right, so here's what we are predicting for winter snowfall. Okay, 12 to 16 inches, Dodge City, Hayes, Concordia, but 16 to 21, that pink stripe, Wichita to Kansas City to Kurtzville. Let's drop a little bit farther south. I actually think Oklahoma City, Tulsa to Bartlesville will be in an 8 to 12. Now, Joplin averages 12 inches of snow, and I think we're going to be just below that. So I think my area, we're going to be just below average on snow, but it only takes, remember that second setup that I showed you, when we get the Arctic air, it only takes 1 or 2 of those to come together, and we are already at 12 inches of snow. So that's why I'm hoping, because I'm a huge snow lover. But looking at the chances of us blowing past 12 inches, it's not the greatest, but the potential is there. But this is what I'm going to go with right now. Let's go east. 4 to 8 inches all through parts of Arkansas. I think Bentonville, Fayetteville, Monette, Springfield to Rolla, 4 to 8 inches of snow for the winter season, which is below average. That 8 to 12, all the way up through St. Louis, which is a little below average, Champaign too. And then that heavier stripe when you get into northern parts of Missouri. So this is kind of what we are looking at right now. Remember, a forecast, this is our initial forecast. Now, just like when you do a 5-day forecast. So if I'm predicting a storm system on Monday for Saturday, Tuesday comes along, I get more data. Wednesday comes along, I get more data. So the forecast changes and it gets more accurate as you get closer to it. So as we get through the winter, we'll update this and we'll get more accurate forecasts as we go through the winter. But this is what I'm seeing right now. Not the best pattern in the world. I still think it's better than last year's pattern. So I think we'll get a little more severe weather out of this as we get into the spring, even though we haven't had much in the way of severe weather. I'm not talking about the amount of severe weather. I'm talking about bigger events. I think we may have some bigger events as we get into the spring months. All right, guys, we'll do another video tomorrow. We'll talk about the chances for showers and thunderstorms, and then we'll do the long-range forecast. Oh, wait, I do have the long-range forecast on here. Let me go back here. Or at least I just have a couple weeks. So let's go. Let's keep going on this. Okay, here's what next week. Chilly to near normal temperatures, but so near normal is about 50 for most of us. Rain chances next Friday, Saturday. December 17th through 23rd. We'll start out that week mild, the 17th through 20th, and then a cold finish. So that's when that possible Arctic air could slide in. So rain and snow chances the 20th through 23rd. So that's something that we'll keep our eyes on. But of course, I'll extend this long range forecast out, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow and talk about our chances for rain. All right, guys, any questions, comments, leave it in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell. We'll chat soon.